Let me quickly tell you the for the unit test that you're going to get. First, this 10 mark unit test. Now, for history, you will be getting the chapter Early Kingdoms, this first page, this second page, leave the map work will not come, and this third page. That's it. After that, let's come on to geography. In geography, just a second. This first page, map reading, that means the heading of globe and map is ending here. So a little portion of this page. Okay? Did you get it? Only till here. Map reading.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, child.
Ma'am, please repeat the syllabus again. Due to some network issues, I can't able to hear.
Child, this call is getting recorded. Make a note from geography right now and history you can see. So for
Okay.
geography, first, switch off your mic. Then coming on to civic. Key elements of a democratic government. In this, you are only supposed to know, just a second. Sorry, not key elements. I'm sorry. A chapter before that. Mm, Which is that chapter? Just a second. Huh? Can somebody help me with the first chapter of civics?
Ma'am, key elements of a democratic government. Ma'am, key elements of democratic government.
Okay, got it.
Ma'am, key elements.
Got it. Found it. So, key elements, this first page, this second page, and only the half of it. Okay, till here. Here, 2.5 pages for civics. I hope I'm clear. Okay.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
please tell the civic syllabus.
Pardon?
Ma'am, please tell the civic syllabus.
Civics syllabus is the first page, second page, and a half page, third page. Okay, so 2.5 pages. Then geography only first page, and history 3 pages. First 3 pages of early kingdoms. Okay, I repeat, early kingdoms first 3 pages. His, history will come of 4 marks. Then geography will also come of 4 marks, and that is only first page you have to do. Okay. Now in geography, first page plus the multiple choice questions. Okay, I'll just show you once again. This multiple choice questions also will come A and B. Only A and B.
Ma'am,
Okay, first page and multiple choice. Then for civics, yes,
ma'am,
yes,
ma'am, very short answer came in the exam. Come in the
no,
exam.
no, only A and B. first page and A and B. Okay.
Okay,
Then for
ma'am.
civics, key elements, 2.5 pages. Did you get it? Did you get it? History,
Okay,
three
ma'am.
pages. History,
Yes,
3 pages.
ma'am.
Kingdoms. Then geography, map reading,
Yes, ma'am.
first page plus multiple choice questions and fill in the blanks A and B only. Then civics, the 2.5 pages of key elements of a democratic government. Okay, I have told you the syllabus. I hope it is clear. Is it?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am, it's clear. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it's
okay,
clear.
good. Now we come on to the major domains of the earth, and we finished off the continents. Did you go through the explanation? Did you? Those who are not going through the explanation, they will be in a problem. Okay, so please see that you all go through the explanation. We talk about the continents. We talked about Asia being the largest continent. Other name for Asia being continent of extremes. Then Africa, which is also known as the dark continent. Then North America. Then South America, Antarctica, which is also known as the continent of science. Then
Yes,
Europe,
ma'am.
and then Australia. Yes,
Ma'am, can you please tell the page number?
very good. 133 in my old
Thank you,
book.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, child. So today we take up the fifth explanation, and those who have not gone through these explanations, please go through it. Otherwise, you will miss out. Hydrosphere, the domain of water. The description of the chapter, which is the Earth, is also termed as the watery planet. Now we know the second major domain is the water, and hydrosphere is that layer, okay, which is a watery planet. Why? Because out of that, 71% is water. Now the blue color of the Earth is aerial photographs taken from satellites is due to the widespread presence of water. Now, you all know that uh, if aerial photographs are taken, Earth appears to be a blue planet. So, why? Because 71% of Earth is covered with water. This is mainly in the form of great water bodies called oceans and seas. Now, the Earth is therefore also called the blue planet or the watery planet, okay? As water bodies, that is, oceans and seas, cover most of the southern hemisphere, it is also known as water hemisphere, just as the northern hemisphere is known as land hemisphere. So the southern hemisphere is also known as water hemisphere because major continents, most of the continents are in the northern hemisphere, and most of the oceans and seas are in the southern hemisphere. Okay, about 97.2% the Earth's water is in the form of oceans and sea, but this water is salty and not suited for drinking purpose. The rest 2.77% is in the form of glaciers and ice sheets, and a small portion of 0.03% exists as fresh water suitable for human use. Now, fresh water is available from runoff in the form of rivers and lakes and groundwater. Groundwater may appear on the surface as wells and springs. This fresh water is being continuously renewed and recharged by the hydrological cycle or water cycle as shown on the previous page, this page. Now put a tick mark on this. This is the diagram that you will draw next. Okay? This is the diagram. You will draw this in your copies. I hope I'm clear. Now they are telling you that Earth, they are majorly, the major portion of the Earth is consisting of water, and that is why it is also known as the blue planet or the watery planet. Then, since the southern hemisphere has more of these oceans and seas, it is also known as water hemisphere. And they are telling you that 97.2% of the Earth is made of water, but since they are the major portions are oceans and seas which are salty, so only little portion is left for us for human use. And 2.77 is in the form of glaciers, that means frozen ice. So you can't have those ice also or glaciers also. So only the running water, that is through rivers, ponds, lakes, wells, springs, etc., that you get for human use. And every time this water is being getting refreshed by the hydrological cycle. Now, what is an hydrological cycle? That is the process of evaporation through rivers and other surface areas where water is. The evaporation takes place. That means the water droplets, they uh, turn into steam, water vapor, and they rise up in the sky, form clouds. Clouds, when they become too heavy with water and condensation takes place, then these water uh, molecules, they fall down back to the earth in the form of rain. So this is known as the hydrological cycle or the water cycle. I hope this much is clear to each one. Then we come on to oceans. Now, water covers about 71% of the Earth's surface. The huge masses of salt water surrounding the continental masses are known as oceans. Now, they are telling you that huge water bodies which are surrounding the continents, which are the huge land masses, they are called as oceans. So the land masses which are huge, they are called continents, and each continent is nearly surrounded by the huge bodies which are known as oceans. These oceans are the major part of hydrosphere, and they are all interconnected. In order of their size, the four major oceans in the world are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. So, the four major oceans which are present on Earth, they are according to their size: Pacific Ocean, which is the largest, then comes the Atlantic, then the Indian Ocean, and then the smallest is the Arctic Ocean. Now we take up the first ocean, the Pacific Ocean. Now the Pacific
Excuse me.
Ocean is large.
Excuse me,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Ma'am, in the new book, it is written there are five major oceans: Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, and Arctic Ocean.
Okay. So the Southern Ocean was nothing else but the ocean which is formed near that region. You remember the Antarctica is surrounded by three major oceans: the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Indian Ocean. And that is why these three oceans together in the area where Antarctica is, they are known as Southern Ocean. Okay. So basically there are four major, but since in the new book they are saying five, so the Southern Ocean is nothing but the mixture of all these three oceans, that is Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Indian Ocean. Okay. And the Southern Ocean lies very close to the part where Antarctica is. Okay. Did you get it?
Yes,
Did you all understand? Have you understood? Let me tell you once and for all once again.
yes, ma'am.
Stop talking. Now see,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Pacific Ocean, this is Atlantic Ocean, this is Indian Ocean, this is Arctic Ocean. Now the Southern Ocean is the mixture of Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Indian Ocean. Clear? This area, since all these three oceans, they combine here near Antarctica. So that is why this area's ocean, this is the fifth ocean they have considered, and they call it the Southern Ocean. Did you get it? Did you get it, kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we come back to the chapter. Okay. So let's take up the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the largest and the deepest ocean of the world. It is circular in shape. Please underline the largest, underline the deepest. Okay, the largest and the deepest. And it is circular in shape. It covers an area larger than the combined area of of all the continents. That means Pacific Ocean is so huge that if you put all the continents together, it is even bigger than that. Now, come to the next paragraph. Underline Mariana Trench. The deepest part of the earth lies under the Pacific Ocean. Now, Mariana Trench, as I told you, is the deepest point in the under the ocean bed. So it is here in this Pacific Ocean, which is the deepest point, and it is known as Mariana Trench. Okay, several small masses of land called islands, and about three-fourths of the world's active volcanoes are found in the Pacific Ocean. So these two things, which are very important, many n number of islands are found in the Pacific Ocean. Nearly three-fourths. That means if you divide the water bodies into four parts, three-fourths of the water bodies, the islands are here in Pacific Ocean. Clear? So that means if there are so many islands and you divide those islands into four parts, out of those four parts, three parts of the islands are here in the Pacific Ocean. Plus, there are very many active volcanoes also, which are present in the seabed of this Pacific Ocean. I hope this much is clear. Then we come on to the next ocean, and that is the Atlantic Ocean. Now, the Atlantic Ocean is the second largest ocean in the world. It is S-shaped. Please underline S-shaped. Pacific Ocean was in the circular shape. This is in the form of an S. Okay. Atlantic Ocean is the busiest ocean. Please underline busiest ocean. The point of commerce, its indented, broken coastline provides sites for natural harbors. Now, if you all see through this, I'll show you again. Just a second, please. Yes, here. If you see Atlantic Ocean, it is in the form of S. Can you see this S form? Now, this is the busiest ocean. Why? Because see all the areas it is covering. It is providing a big, huge natural harbor for so many countries, continents. Can you see? So it is the busiest ocean because on both the sides it has indented coastline, that is broken coastlines where harbors, that means the ships could be kept here. And it is a major ocean where all trade and commerce takes place. Number of continents are interconnected through Atlantic Ocean. I hope this much is clear to each one of you again. I'm going slowly. I hope I'm clear. Okay. Then coming to the next
Yes,
heading,
ma'am.
next paragraph. North and South America lie to the west, and Europe and Africa lie to the eastern side. I told you just now, I showed you the picture also. North and South America, they lie in the west side of the Atlantic Ocean, whereas Europe and Africa, they lie in the eastern side. And this I had shown you through the picture also. Then we come on to the third, and as you see, the name is after our country. The Indian Ocean is the only ocean that is named after a country. And which country? Our own country, India. It is more or less triangular in shape. It is bound by Asia in the north, Africa in the west, and Australia in the east. There are many submarine ridges like the Lakshadweep, Chagos, and Carlsberg. Now, many volcanic islands and other island groups such as Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Maldives, Sri Lanka are found in the Indian Ocean. So all you need to know is that it's a triangular shaped ocean. I'll again try to show you. Actually, through through visual effect, you tend to learn more. Now see, this is a triangular ocean. This, and this area. So in the northern side, it is Asia. In the western side, it is Africa. And in the eastern side, Australia, is making it a triangular ocean. Why? Because here it is called the Southern Ocean. Yeah. Next to Antarctica, the same water bodies of three oceans, they are known as Southern Oceans here. But here it is known as Indian Ocean and it is triangular in shape. Yeah. Then they talk of number of islands and you need to know the names of these islands as well. Okay, then comes the Arctic Ocean. Now, Arctic Ocean is on top. Yeah, it is snow covered because it is closer to rigid zone, or you can say it is closer to the poles. Now, let us see. The Arctic Ocean is located within the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. As it spreads around the polar region, therefore, it remains frozen most of the time. It is connected with the Pacific Ocean by a narrow stretch of shallow water known as Bering Strait. It is bound by the northern coast of North America and Eurasia. Now, again, I will show you the picture and things will be clear to you. Now, see the presence of Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean is basically this area. So it is basically most of the time it is frozen. Clear? And with a narrow strip, it is connected with Pacific Ocean and other oceans. Can you see a narrow strip here? It is connecting Pacific Ocean with a narrow strip, Bering Strait. You remember, North America is connected with Asia through narrow strip called Bering Strait. So here it is that, okay? And it is connecting, Arctic Ocean is connecting with the Pacific Ocean here. Yeah? Let's move on and I'll tell you. So here we are. It is most of the time snow covered. Why? Because it is next to the Arctic Circle. Okay. Now, it is bounded by northern coast of North America and Eurasia. There is another ocean which is known as Southern Ocean or Antarctic Ocean. See, they have incorporated it here only. They have told about the Southern Ocean. Now, Arctic Ocean is in the northern part of the earth. Southern Ocean is in the southern extreme side. Okay. Now, it is, just a second. Yes. It is bounded by northern coast of Northern America and Eurasia. Sorry. There is another ocean which is known as Southern Ocean or Antarctic Ocean. It is found south of 40 degrees south longitude. It is an extension of the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Ocean. It surrounds the continent of Antarctica. So this I told you earlier only because it is bounded and surrounded by Antarctica is surrounded by these three major oceans. Now we come on to the other heading here. Okay, the ocean floor is not completely flat. Ridges and trenches, example, mid-Atlantic ridges, Mariana Trench, etc., and even active volcanoes are found on the ocean floor when the submarine when the submarine peaks appear over the water surface. They form islands. Now, they are telling you that ocean body, the base of the ocean, is not straight. It is very uneven. If you go underneath the water, you must have seen the views of underwater views from the cameras taken by scuba divers, etc. So you will find that these oceans are uneven. They have trenches and even they have volcanic peaks. They even have mountain peaks, the mountains which are covered inside the waterbed. Now, the little portion of the peak which is appearing on top is the island. That means island has, though it is covered with water, but still it has the potential to appear. Like supposing this is water, okay? Now, and this is the water bed. This is the water bed. That means the end. Now there is a mountain here, okay? Now this major portion is covered with water, but can you see this area here? This is appearing on top of the ocean. So this particular area from here till here will from top will appear as an island. Okay. Why? Because it is surrounded by water on all sides. So this area is island, but basically underneath the water, can you see a mountain here? So the water below the oceans is not even. The surface below the ocean is not even. There are many a times there are trenches also. Trenches means the deep pits. This is a trench. Okay. Can you make out? I'm just trying to show you. Yeah. So this acts as a trench. So there are trenches, there are peaks, there are active volcanoes in the inside of the earth, inside of the water. Okay. Now we come on to the next heading. Yes. The next heading, which is telling you the importance of oceans. Ocean water moves in the form of waves, ocean currents, and tides. So basically, ocean water moves in the form of waves, ocean currents, that means the flow, direction, and tides. Tides means the rising of water and falling of water. Now we come on to the importance of oceans. Why are oceans important? Let us see. They form the main source of moisture in the atmosphere. Now, oceans are the major source of atmosphere. Why? Because they collaborate in the moisture. Evaporation takes place here because a lot of water is here, so evaporation is more here. And this helps in the formation of clouds full of water and then helps in rainfall. So it maintains the hydrological cycle, so it is important. Then these oceans are a huge storehouse of minerals, especially petroleum. All. I'm sorry. Oh God. So now these oceans, they are inside the ocean. They are huge storehouse for the various animal life. They are storehouse for petroleum. They are storehouses for minerals and natural gases and salt. You all must be knowing that salts, the namak that we take, the salt that we have, is taken from the ocean, is generated from ocean. Then the third order, the oceans have a moderating influence on the climate of a place. Now, obviously, it helps in a temperature modulation. The climate of a place changes when the ocean body is present next to it. Now, if you visit South India, you know that Indian Ocean is there. If you visit, say, Goa, you see the number of beaches. So the climate there is quite different from the climate of Lucknow. So they are basically also modulating the temperature and climate of a place. Then fourth jota, they support various life forms and supply us with seafood, including fishes. So all of you are aware of the seafood, and from where do we get these prawns and fishes of variety and crabs, etc. It is through the water life which is there, which is a seafood for us as a treat, additional food. Now, the fifth point, since ancient times, ocean transport has been of great importance. It is, importance in international trade. They have linked the entire world. Now, the last and the most important point is that the trade and commerce throughout the continents has been only possible because of the presence of oceans. Why the oceans were interconnected and any sea voyage could be taken place, and they were the major sources of trade and transport during the olden times also. Then a small little heading is left, seas. A continuous water body of saline water that surrounds the land masses of the earth is called a sea. Example: Red Sea, Arabian Sea, Baltic Sea, Mediterranean Sea. Seas, though vast, are smaller and shallower than the oceans. Their waves are smaller, no big currents flow through them. So now many a times we get confused what a sea is and what an ocean is. So very simple, oceans are huge water bodies. Seas are also huge, but they are still lesser in area than the oceans. Now, especially the portion of water body which is near to the landmass is called a sea. And the seas are much shallower. They have lesser water. They are not very deep, okay, compared to what the oceans are. So I hope this much is clear and we stop here and I'll be sending you the explanation. Now, please make sure